another beautiful summer day here in the shop. The kind of day that makes you want to cut all your hair off. It's not that bad. Right, so what am I doing today? If you watched the last video, I buttoned up the top end on the BMW and dropped the motor in the frame. And at the end, I really didn't know what my next step was going to be. But I think I want to get this bike off this cart and on the ground, meaning front suspension, rear suspension, swing arm, center stand. And I think that'll be a big step forward for the bike. It'll really start to make it look, you know, like what it's going to be when it's done. So I took the liberty of laying out all of my parts and pieces before you guys got here. I've got my disassembled forks. I've got my swing arm with new seals, bearings, and U-joint. I've got my final drive with all its new seals and gaskets. And finally, I've got the old, crusty, crappy center stand. Probably wondering, why did I not powder coat this thing along with everything else? And that's because we radically altered the suspension here. That front end is dropping like over 3 inches. The rear suspension is completely new. And this thing's going to sit a lot lower to the ground. So that center stand is going to have to shorten as well. And I'm talking by a couple inches. The thing is, I don't know exactly how much, so I'm going to wait until I've got the suspension situated. That way I can make a good decision on how much material to remove from that. And then I'll probably just spray paint it. I'll definitely just spray paint it. All right, so let's get started with some work. I want to do the forks first. this all cleaned up. Let's look at our gear. Let's see how it's looking. Skipping ahead into the future a little bit here. I've got a couple more parts on the front fork. You can see I got the headlight ears and the top triple tree on there. You know, I didn't record it because I just wanted to, I was just throwing parts together. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, putting those in place is not exactly exciting anyway. So, the fork springs. We trimmed the fork tubes down quite a lot. We're talking 100 mil. However, the springs that we were supplied are actually the same length as stock, which is tricky because that's quite a ways above where that needs to be. And that's without any preload spacers or anything. So I have struggled for quite a while today trying to get those fork springs in place. Fortunately, I can do that and then put the fork oil in after the fact. cool. That way I don't make a mess or more of a mess. So I came up with this frankly kind of stupid contraption. Honestly, you'll probably hurt yourself if you try to replicate this, so don't do it. Here's the stem cap for the spring. I'm going to use this 3/8 extension with a 1/2 inch adapter on top of it and drop that in place. That's going to keep it from rocking around on the spring. Then this 1 1/16 inch socket with a 1/2 inch drive goes on top. Then my 36 mil. What that does is it spaces it out so that the threads are below the bottom of my 36 mil socket. Finally, another shorter 3/8 drive thing goes on top of that. The reason for that is this piece of 2x4 with a ratchet strap. We're going there. Has a nice hole that I banged into it with a hammer. It perfectly fits this guy, so it locates it nice and tight. And then you wrap the ratchet strap around the axle and you pull it tight and hope you don't put your eye out. Well, I had to do it. I had to try. Got the center stand all put together and the seat came in. I had the seat done by Ginger McCabe at New Church Moto. She is the best and it looks awesome. So, got the suspension on, I got the seat in, had to put the seat on, throw the tank on, put an exhaust pipe on and see how it looked. All right, I'll stop teasing you. Here it is.